Hi everyone, welcome to our fireside chat here at HubSpot. With us today, the topic that we will be focusing today is about launching your career. And this is an important topic that fresh grads would find very informational, and also for those who are looking for a career change as well. But we'll be focusing mainly on the topic regarding sales and why we believe sales is the right place for you to start off your career. So I'm Vanessa, my pronouns are she and her, and I'm responsible for university partnerships and programs here at HubSpot. I'm joined by our lovely panelists today, Sandra, Jordan, and Chantel, to share a bit about their knowledge and their insights and what they learned so far as well in the sales department here at HubSpot. So hi everyone, thanks for joining us today. Do you just want to introduce yourself shortly, your background, what you've done so far, and what you do here at HubSpot as well? Let's start off with Sandra.
Yes, of course. So hi everyone, I'm Sandra and my pronouns are she and her. I'm originally from Germany and studied then marketing management in the Netherlands. I just graduated literally last summer and then joined HubSpot right after in September as an inbound success coach, which is basically the entry-level role in the sales department.
Yeah, hi guys, I'm Chantal. I joined HubSpot as a BDR in December 2021. I'm located in Berlin. I have a similar background as to Sandra. So I studied marketing in Amsterdam and last year graduated in September. And now I'm here in the HubSpot family and excited to share a little bit about our HubSpot life.
Hello, so my name is Jordan. I'm French, but living here in Germany, in Berlin, actually. I work at HubSpot since July 21 as inbound success coach in Sandra's team, actually, for the DACH region and also the English prospects and customers. Around my background, I did a master's degree, half of the year in France, half of the year in Germany. So I've always had a bit this, coming from Strasbourg, 5 minutes from the border of Germany, always had this, I would say, attribution to Germany, and that's what about my background.
Lovely, thanks everyone. So I'd like to point out the fact that HubSpot is a hybrid company, and we allow our employees to work basically from anywhere they like from home, completely remotely, flex, or from office as well. So I'd like to know where everyone's joining us today. So for example, I'm working 100% remotely from Munich, Germany. It's a very sunny day out there today. But Jordan, where are you based?
So I'm based in Berlin, but I actually choose the flex version, which is a hybrid version between being remotely fully and being completely in the office. So which allows me to go to the office up to 3 times a week. So imagine I can even receive packages at home. What a luxury this is. And yeah, kind of a good work-life balance, taking appointments and even meeting your colleagues.
Yeah, so I also have the flex option. As Jordan said, it's basically you can work from home, you can work from the office, which is nice because sometimes you just want to work from home because you're not feeling so well, you are a bit introverted, whatever, and sometimes you just want to be surrounded by your colleagues, have dinner, lunch together, and want to hang out, have fun. And so right now I'm in Lisbon, actually, so I'm making use of the vacation which HubSpot is offering, but otherwise I'm in Berlin, which is really nice. So yeah, Jordan, let's hang out.
Well, Chantal, I'm so jealous that you're in Lisbon right now. That sounds amazing. I'm actually joining from a little village in Germany, somewhere in the middle of nowhere, about an hour from Frankfurt, and also picked, obviously, the 100% remote option. And in fact, that was also for me one of the big reasons why I joined HubSpot, that I have this flexibility that after living in the city for a couple of years, I could now live in the nature, also be close to family, and quite frankly, also saving some money on rent now that I'm living in the countryside. But also, of course, the time. Before I joined HubSpot, I had to commute door to door, 1 hour. So it's like 10 hours per week and 40 hours per month that I'm just saving by being at home and having the time to spend with my family.
Nice. I would love to spend time with family as well, but unfortunately they're all in Malaysia, but that's okay. And I can totally understand this whole nature concept. That's why I love living in Munich as well, that you're only 1 hour away from the lake and things like that. Let's dive a little bit deeper about like what do you guys do in the day to day, so that people can have like a bit of idea of like what's the different topics in sales in the sales department here at HubSpot. So let's start off with Chantel. Maybe you can share a bit what you do here at HubSpot.
Yeah, sure. So it pretty much depends on the day. So my day-to-day task, it varies a bit. So for instance, on Mondays, prospects are busy. They have internal meetings. So on Mondays, I check my calendar first, see, okay, what kind of meetings do I have? Maybe some meetings with my team, with my manager, etc. And then I structure my whole week. So maybe what stretch goals do I want to achieve, such as activities, calls, emails, and then hang out with my colleagues, just have a quick coffee chat. And this is basically my Monday. And then, for instance, on Wednesday, it can get a little bit busier, stressy, because you have meetings with prospects, you have calls and emails, and do some outreach. And so I think these are the most important activities, tasks in my daily work life.
About me, actually, as we are together with Sandra as inbound success coach, I will tell a bit more. It's a bit of a blurry name. I know it can be confusing, but we're actually on the entry level of sales. So it's a bit of a double-sided position. Success, why? Because we are taking, as it's mentioned in the title, inbound. So we don't do outreach ourselves. We receive either calls or people chatting to us or emailing us. So we are basically treating the inquiring volume that is coming. And then on both sides, of course, our goal is to try to advise best our prospects, which package they should choose, or even maybe we are not the right solution. It depends. And on the other side, we also help kind of the free users, because we also have a free version of the platform, to kind of make the best of the platform and how to use it to advise them.
Yes, exactly. I'm, as Jordan already said, in the same team. And I believe our director always says that the inbound team is like the genius bar at Apple. So we're basically, for every request there, people come in, maybe they don't even know themselves yet what exactly they need. Maybe there's something is not working for them, or they have questions about our packages, and we're basically there to just be there for them, help them troubleshoot a little bit. So it's also a service aspect, but then also connect them with our account executives, for example, and schedule the appointments.
Nice, thanks guys. So Sandra and Chantal, you guys mentioned that you guys were studying marketing before joining HubSpot. Jordan, what did you do before joining HubSpot?
Happy to jump in. I actually didn't present this. So I did as in my bachelor. So it was in Strasbourg again. It was oriented into entrepreneurship in the European area, I would say, and in 4 languages, so French, German, Spanish, and English. And it was also in apprenticeship. So not sure if everybody knows that. So half of the time at school, half of the time in a company, and working as a marketing and sales assistant. And then I jumped onto the master, as I said before, 1 year in France, 1 year in Germany. And this was also about international management. So quite general.
I see. Cool. Thank you. And it seems like all of you have majored in marketing or majored in something different that has anything or too much in common with sales. So why did you decide to do a career in sales? Let's start with you, Sandra.
Yeah, I think actually sales is such a broad field that every major and every experience can help you in some way to succeed. For example, as you said, I have the marketing background, but it really also helps me to better understand the problems that our customers are facing. And so the reason why I then went into sales is basically because I love talking to people, and I can directly contribute also to the company's revenue, and there's a clear career path.
So I had like personal motivation, because after my master's in marketing, I mean, I love marketing. It's a nice field. It's super exciting, interesting. However, I was like, okay, maybe marketing, it's nice, but you've been there for nearly 2 years because of your studies. So I wanted to see another field, and I was like, okay, where can I grow? Where can I challenge myself? Where can I learn something completely new? And that was sales, because I had to leave my comfort zone. And I thought sales is a nice place to really learn something new, to have like a learning curve of this. And it's definitely it was the right decision. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. For me, I will definitely give my personal experience here. So, after high school, I had this goal. Okay, I will have the bachelor, then I will have the master. And we say in French, I spent like 20 years on the school benches, and which my end goal was to be on the master. And after giving out my thesis and receiving the diploma, I felt at some point, wow, but now what should I do for
Yeah.
years? So actually, as my studies were quite general, I thought, okay, I don't know what to do. I don't know in what I should specialize, and maybe some of you can identify. Then what do I know? I know myself. I know I like to communicate with people. I know I like to learn, to adapt. I want something positive. Probably be in front of either colleagues or customers. And this is when I thought, okay, maybe going to sales won't shut me any door for later on, even though I will be learning and increasing my soft skills. That's why I decided to jump here.
Nice.
That sounds really great, everyone. So definitely, like it shows like a different side of sales as well. So there's like a stigma going around in sales, but like what surprised you? I'm pretty sure like you guys before joining sales probably like heard all like the bad rap that sales had, but like what surprised you the most about a career in sales since you started? Jordan, if you like to continue your story.
Yeah, that's a good point, because I'm sure we can all recognize here, during years and years, you had this picture in mind of this salesperson knocking at doors to each door, or the person calling every 10 minutes, trying to sell anything to anybody. In French, we actually say sell an ice cream to an Inuit, which can still be possible, of course, but this means basically selling anything to anybody. And actually arriving at HubSpot, I realized that it wasn't at all the case here, because for our case, I think we realized if you sell something, our software, to someone that doesn't need it or doesn't want it, of course, it's nice at this punctual moment to receive some increase in money, I would say. But then you realize that 2 weeks after, this person will come back frustrated and creating friction, coming back to you, hey, not happy with it. So you're not happy, they're not happy. And we both lost time actually there. So that's why it really changed my mind to discovering that we are transparent with them and helping them in their decisions.
Yeah, that's a great point. And maybe to jump in, I think everybody has a stereotype of, such as Ron said, people are just selling stuff. They're not really caring about what you really need. And I think we are not like sales people in that way, but more like trustworthy consultants, because it's really about understanding their challenges, their situation, and then see, okay, is HubSpot a potential solution for you? Or maybe it's not, because you're facing something completely different where we cannot help you with. And I think that definitely surprised me. And also the people that are like joining HubSpot, because nobody I've met is like the salesperson that you have in mind when talking about a salesperson, because everybody is so supportive, nice, and not like only focused on themselves, but also on your career, on your growth. And this is really cool.
Yeah, for me, my stereotype of a salesperson was actually that I thought I would have to, call the whole day people who have no idea who I am, have no idea who HubSpot is, or, another company. But actually, I learned now that sales can be so many different things. Like it can be in so many different ways, and you can really find what is the right way for me. So for example, for some people, this is picking up the phone and just calling. But if, you're maybe a little bit more shy, you can also send them emails, or you can figure out social selling and have a really cool personal brand on LinkedIn. Or at HubSpot, we have the super cool inbound methodology. For example, what Jordan and I do in our department, where we have people actually coming to us saying, hey, we want to know more about HubSpot. And we create this relationship with the customers. So yeah, that was quite new for me.
Nice, lovely. And speaking about customers, what's the most rewarding thing about working with customers for all of you? Chantel.
I think what I really love is that you work with so many different people from so many different industries, companies, and that you have to be like adaptable, because everybody's different. Everybody's facing other challenges, another situation. And when I have like a meeting with a prospect or a customer, which is around 10 to 15 minutes, and they're like, oh, that was so nice. And it was not like the normal selling meeting, because it's more like get to know each other. And I think this is really rewarding, because in the end, you're helping them. They're here to seek help, and
I can only second you on that. I think it's rewarding when you get to the point, as you said, where you're not only in this fight or this competition against each other, seller and purchaser, but you come sometimes deeper. You can laugh with them. You can get deeper in their challenges, which are really sometimes painful for them in their everyday life. And then I would say the cherry on the cake is when you realize after working with them that they come back to you and tell you that, hey, we found together the right solution. It works for us. It helps us. And thank you for that. And this is, I think, the most rewarding thing we can get.
Yes, so true. I think, Jordan, you really hit the nail on the head. This is so amazing. And also, to continue with what Chantal said, I think it's so nice that we have such a range, not just in nationalities, but also in sizes of companies. So sometimes I hear people saying, oh, I don't think HubSpot is for me yet because we're only a 1-person company or a 5-person company. But actually, most companies can use HubSpot, even really small ones. And then to talk with these different companies, hear what their goals are, what they're struggling with, and then how HubSpot fits in there. I think that's super, super cool.
Nice. That sounds really nice. It makes me really happy when you guys are telling this story as well. And I love like the fact that like you guys get thank you from the customer. I'm pretty sure it really lightened up your day as well. And like you mentioned, I think Jordan, you mentioned a bit as well, and all of you, that like when people get like calls for like from salespeople, they tend to like don't really want to answer it and things like that as well. Or like for students, before you start a career and you think like, oh, sales is not really the thing because you're constantly knocking on doors or like giving cold calls and things like that. So what do you think companies or the industry should do to improve and better the kind of like bad rap that sales have? Sandra, do you have any opinion on that?
Yes. So, okay, now, of course, I'm a little bit biased because we work for HubSpot, but I think HubSpot is already doing such a great job at switching to this inbound methodology. And so it's like you pick up the customer where they are. If they're still exploring, you give them resources and say, hey, maybe this will help, then they will like you. And when you then come back and maybe 2 weeks later and say, hey, let's continue this conversation, they're open for it because you already have this relationship with them. And of course, also just training for everyone, like how do we approach the customer? And we know this in HubSpot because we get so much training on it. And I love that.
Yeah, and I totally agree. And what I really like is, especially maybe for students who still have, or people who still have this stereotype or stigma of traditional salespeople, that HubSpot is doing so much, such as the event on the university in Berlin, where one account executive had a quick chat, a little presentation, to just present his day-to-day life, his daily work, the HubSpot life. And I think also this Fireside chat is a really cool option, where we just share our experiences, our ideas. And I think these are like great opportunities to really switch this negative or bad rep.
I think you hit the right spot. I think overall, the first thing a company can focus on is really the images and the values she stands for and how she educate and train her people, because we are mainly, for us as sales, kind of the front line, the face of the company. And if our prospect, or basically just the person, even if it's someone, chatting in, not for sales inquiry, but just asking, hey, do you have open position also? This is how you reflect the company's values. And if your employees are trained, then your employees are the advocates, but also the people you talk with. So definitely, I would say being open, being transparent to what you say, and educate as much as possible your coworkers and employees.
Definitely. Yeah, that's definitely true. And I love the fact that like HubSpot focuses on training all of you guys like for 1 whole month instead of like some companies that just throw you straight into day 2 that you just figure things out yourself. And I really like that for, even though I'm not in sales, for my own onboarding as well, I had like a whole month's training to really learn how to treat people well, or like the way that HubSpot treats customers and things like that as well. So this, since like this is a fireside chat about launching a career, why should students consider sales as a great starting point after graduation? Jordan, do you want to kick us off?
Yeah, that's a good question. So I will try to answer not so much in the sales way, but not trying to sell something to someone who doesn't want it. Of course, if you're specialized and you already know this is not something you want to do, I wouldn't recommend you to do that. Though for many of you, probably you did general business studies as well and evaluate maybe to go to sales. So just learn that it's something that will bring you definitely soft skills that will be useful at any time in your career or in your personal life, like being resilient, being organized, communicate, to be positive, whatever happens. You will be the helper, you would be the advisor here. So those are something to take in account. Choose this without closing you any doors for after.
Yeah, I think there's not so much to add. This is a really great point. I think it's nice because you really learn something new. You learn how the customer works, and you really get to know the other side, so the customer side, which is nice because, for instance, in marketing, you always have to do campaigns, but you never really talk to the customer. So I think sales is really nice because you have this first-hand experience. And yeah, I think Jordan, yeah, your statement was really good. So I have nothing more to add.
Yes, yeah, you both mentioned really good points, and maybe also to add to that, and to be, fully transparent and honest, I think one great thing about starting with sales right out of university is that the entry barrier is a little bit lower. Because I studied marketing, I also, of course, browsed around in the marketing section, but oftentimes you have these 5 years of experience that is required, 10 years of experience. I think in sales, it's oftentimes a little bit easier to get in, but therefore the learning curve is so steep, and also the promotion path is there. So basically you have to hit your metrics, but then you will get the promotion. And also, if that's interesting for someone, I heard that also the salaries are really good in sales compared to maybe other departments. Of course, this is not the only reason you should work in sales, but it is, of course, a really nice benefit.
Nice. Okay, so let's close off with like some advices that you guys would give to like fresh graduates when with what you know now and what you've learned so far in your career and after graduating as well. Chantel, what since I think you're the latest ones that join us as well, so what advice would you give with what you've learned so far?
Maybe a quick and short advice, but simply start, try out, figure out, and even if you fail, it's fine. And don't stress yourself. Don't put so much pressure on yourself finding the right job, because you're young, you're motivated, you're eager to learn, so everything is fine.
Yeah, exactly what I actually had in mind. And just to add on top of it, I would say, some people still don't know what they want to do with the age of 40 and discover it later on. Just try something. And even if you tried and you realize it's not something for you, it can be after 3 months, it can be after 3 years. You're still open to change. It's all in your control, and never stay in a position that you don't feel good in it. Just give it a try and explore new things.
Yes, so true. And I was also thinking, one realization that I had now is that I think it's very important to choose company over position. Especially in the beginning, it is so important that you are in a company that supports you, that is there for you, that is flexible, that offers the learning opportunities. And I think this is actually in the end almost more important than the position, because you can always change positions. That's no problem if it's not for you. But in a good company, there's room for that, and there's the helping hand for it. And I think that can make a big difference.
Lovely. Yes, definitely. That's definitely something HubSpot also encourages with our internal mobility policy as well. And I'm pretty sure like Sandra and Jordan, you guys are also at that point right now where you can consider to change departments. So I'm very looking forward to see where you guys grow into as well. But thanks everyone for joining in. I hope this session was helpful for you. Follow us on HubSpot Live here on YouTube to see more fireside chats like this as well, or on TikTok under Student Spot to get more tips and tricks and advices regarding the direction of your career, how to prepare for interviews and things like that. But I would also like to thank our lovely panelists today for joining us and also sharing their insights with us. And we hope to see all of you again soon. Bye everyone.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.